Is the single family home dead? Well, BC lawmakers are taking note of an apparent ban on single family homes in New Zealand, of all places. A similar ban could soon be coming to Vancouver and maybe the rest of the lower mainland. And I'm going to tell you more about it right after I ask you to please subscribe to the channel. Remember, if you would like to stay up to date on the BC marketplace, make sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single one of my silly updates. Hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm because it means the absolute world to me to help grow this channel and educate more people about real estate here in my marketplace of Surrey, BC, and well, across the whole country for that matter. And of course, if you have any questions about your own personal real estate and you need a little bit of advice, reach out down below in the description where you can book a call with me with just a few simple clicks. So thank you so much for hitting the like button, and please make sure as I go here, comment down below. I'd really like to know if you think a possible ban on single family homes in Vancouver is good or bad. All right, so let's dive into what's going on in New Zealand first here. It says BC takes note as New Zealand moves to ban single family zoning in cities. So what they're proposing, or I guess what they're doing in New Zealand, it says they have actually ordered the end of single family zonings in its 5 biggest cities. So if you don't know, Canada is not the only place having a crunch on prices and housing. It's happening across most of the world right now, and New Zealand is no different. And if we keep going down here, I wanted to dive a little bit further into exactly what it means. And basically, they've passed legislation in New Zealand to try and get all of the single family homes or the single family zoning into medium density houses. So either multiple different addresses on one lot, multiple different units on one lot. We already have this specifically in Vancouver, where we have the laneway home, the basement suite, and the house upstairs. Now, they're all technically still one title for the most part, I believe, in Vancouver, but there are some interesting aspects to this. For instance, they're talking basically, from what I gather here, about introducing 3-story homes that can allow 50% site coverage of a property. So not knowing and being an expert at all in a different country's market, I would assume what they're trying to encourage is basically 3-story walk-up style of houses. So you would have a 3-story, probably flat roof home, where each level would be its own 2 or possibly 3-bedroom unit. Essentially, they're creating very small apartment buildings. Now, let's keep going here because I want to see if, in fact, they are talking at all about whether or not these will be separate title. I don't think they are. Basically, it's just a plan to make a little bit more dense the existing land that they have. And if you missed that part about the 50%, currently most zoning in Canada, or well, shouldn't say Canada. Currently most zoning in Vancouver and the lower mainland allows for, let's call it about a 30 to 35% site coverage. So if you have a 10,000 square foot lot, the actual footprint of the home is likely going to be 33 to 3,500 square feet. And then you can build either up or down from there. Now, they do tend to think that this will have a significant effect, obviously, by increasing the amount of homes available in a smaller area. Now, here's one thing you have to understand, though, with densification. It makes the homes more affordable. It does not make them more affordable per square foot, if that makes sense. So, for instance, if I have, let's call it a 2,000 square foot house in Vancouver right now, and that property is selling for almost $2 million. If I now tear down that 2,000 square foot home, I could possibly build, let's call it a 4,000 square foot home. And now, if you just divided those up equally, each one of those properties would not be $650,000 or $700,000. They would likely be much more than that. So it will make the price per square foot much more expensive as we densify. So it will make the actual house that you live in, won't make it bigger, but it would likely make it more affordable, bringing more product to the market. And that's exactly what we need here in this country. Also, it looks like they need in New Zealand as well. It also says, that they've had a shortage. There's no shocker. It sounds like the exact same thing. Being made worse by big cities, limits on the number and types of houses. So all of those standards that we had from the past, they now have to be looked at, not necessarily standards of building, but the type of zoning being considered. We have to densify because New Zealand has a very similar structure to Canada, where you have these 4 or 5 major cities and then a lot of vacant land. Well, they don't have nearly the land we have. Many people probably don't know it yet, but Vancouver actually has what they call SH zoning. So in the city of Vancouver, if you have a 50-foot wide lot by 100, so a 5,000 square foot lot with a 50-foot frontage, you can currently get an SH zoning possibility anyway on that property. SH stands for small house. And believe it or not, you can build 4 separate structures on that 5,000 square foot lot. So you might have something like basically a mini house in each corner of that 5,000 square foot lot. It's going to have a single car garage, most likely. It's also going to have living and kitchen and everything on the main floor, and then bedrooms upstairs. Now, those homes may only be somewhere between 12 and 1,800 square feet. So they're very, very small, but that's exactly what the zoning is called, SH zoning, small house zoning. Now, it says back here in Vancouver, they're talking about it being totally reasonable to get rid of detached home zoning, which I do think is happening and should happen. Now, the part I don't like about this story is the absolute clickbait title that New Zealand is banning single family homes. To me, what it sounds like is they are allowing a zoning change if you want. I don't think they're not going to let people build new single family homes. So what that means is if I currently live in a single family home area, if I tore down that home, I could likely still build a single family home, but the government would likely incentivize me to build more units on that land. And as soon as that zoning is changed, it actually increases the value of the home because a developer could possibly build multiple units and sell those units for more money. But to suggest that they're banning it means to me that they would not allow any more future single family homes to be built. So if you tore down that single family home, you would not be able to build a new one. I don't think that's what they've proposed here or put into legislation, because what that would do is it would discourage building and tearing down, and it would make those single family homes so much more valuable, and prices would continue to skyrocket. So it's a very interesting topic. I would be super interested to see what you think about the death of the single family home in New Zealand, and if you think they should bring that same policy into the Metro Vancouver area. Please make sure to comment down below. Try and keep your comments positive, and let's try and do some good. Let's see what possible solutions people could come up with, and maybe put them down below in the comments, because that's what I like to do. I like to try and stay positive as best I possibly can. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this type of video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, because the dislikes won't be shown much longer. If you'd like to book a call with me, you can do so right down below in the description right now. Check out this video before you go, and we'll see you in a couple of days.